For years, I'm currently in the States, but for years I lived and taught in Shanghai. I had the premier mind, body, and martial arts training studio in Shanghai for a number of years. And I took leaders and high performers through 100-day transformation processes. These were brutal and intense, and I had a bit of a reputation for that. But it was also one that carried me forward for many years in terms of credibility and authority in the domain. But to have real transformation in, let's say, 2 to 3 months, or in this case, 100 days, something had to take place. There needed to be a dying of sorts or a failure of sorts. And this would always occur between weeks 5 and 7 in this process. Reasons being, the first 3 weeks are a honeymoon phase, and then the weeks that follow are a little bit of a transition. Okay, I'm settling in. It's no longer the sexy thing that I signed up for. It's becoming hard work. And then around week 5, week 6, week 7, there is what you would call a crisis of confidence, where, okay, the tools that got me here are not working anymore. The ways that I fronted for the world and flexed and proved that I was a competent, capable individual, they're not working in the gym so much. And I might need to grow in order to compensate. When I say mind-body, this isn't a soft practice. This would look at the strongest attributes of strength, flexibility, meditation, nutrition as core pillars of training. And they wouldn't be the soft stuff. They would take you to the edge. They would be intense physical training sessions, long and focused meditation sessions, deep stretching sessions. So much so that each one of these pillars would have a dramatic impact on the psychosoma of the trainee, meaning not only would the body change, but their orientation, their mentality would actually change to give them new attributes and skills by the end of it. The father who was too stubborn and reactive with his child, by the end of 100 days, focusing on flexibility, would realize he had more space to attune and listen and adapt. The CEO, who found himself being a pushover at work and had a lack of confidence after losing a relationship, for example, found himself after 100 days of deadlifting with the courage and the strength to stand before the owner of the company and demand his worth. These are psychological shifts that don't come from thought processes or faking it till you make it or telling yourself to think or act a certain way. It comes from a new body, new capacities that give you the ability to show up differently and to know who you are in those moments.